Hello guys, and I am here for some wild themed game day bingo. Super excited to be here with you guys live as I'm going to be streaming to those Pilot TVs. Player Connect app, pilotgames.com/PilotTV, YouTube Live, as well as the Twitch app. Our channel name is MegaSota on both YouTube Live and Twitch, so hopefully you guys are checking out those streams, sending out some awesome messages, and I will shoot you out some luck as you get on after some of this great bingo we have in store for you guys. We got just about 25 seconds where we have a minor jackpot of $111, 52 balls or less. Not available in this game number one because at 52 balls or less, you'll take home $4,166 on that major jackpot. Mega jackpot sits at $50,000. Just hit that last night as we see it sitting at 50 balls or less. Should be a great time as we get after it in this game. As we're getting after it in this matchup, I would like to highlight some great winners. As I had a little extended break, I was out visiting family, and so I need to highlight the winners from this extended weekend, as we saw 18 jackpots go out over the last 7 days, and 318 jackpots have gone out so far in this season 16. We saw Friday through Monday, 8 different jackpots hit people's iPads, as we'll start off with those Friday jackpot winners. As SLB over at the Riverside in Holly took home $6,354. Great job to you, SLB, and that awesome win. We then saw another Friday prize go out, as that second Friday prize went out to Sharon N. over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, and Mike and DD win over at the Wheelhouse. They each took home $1,250, splitting up a $2,500 Musco prize in a little Pilot Payday action. Great win for you, as that was the final Pilot Payday game of that week. We then saw our final jackpot on Friday go out. A big Friday as 4 different jackpots hit players' iPads, as Chrissy Boss over at Neighbors Route 75 took home $8,448. Congratulations to you, Chrissy Boss. We now move into our weekend winners. As Saturday, we saw Purd over at Ditto's Bar take home the largest jackpot of the weekend, $9,393. I'll just assume it's Purd Happily. as you heard from the Purd. That's a little Parks and Recreation reference. The second jackpot to go out on Saturday went out to PJC over at the Too Tall Tavern, as PJC took home $4,993. Congratulations to you, PJC. We then saw one jackpot go out on Sunday. That singular prize went out to Maggie over at TB3s, as Maggie was able to take home $6,036. Congratulations to you. As our final jackpot prize that went out in the extended weekend, as I missed out on Monday, we saw Call Me Hank over at HR Pesties take home $7,482 for the only jackpot to go out on Monday. That's why we got so many good jackpots here available. As I would be surprised if we see that mega jackpot go out today. We're usually around $50,000 is when it gets intense, and we can't wait to see who ends up taking it home. I'll be excited to see who is the lucky winner. As we do continue to have great players getting after it here, as LCAT64 over at the Ultimate Sports Bar and Grill is taking home our Musco prize of $14.90. Congratulations to you, LCAT4. LCAT64, as we now get enrolled into this next game. This next game will include a minor jackpot now clicked up to 54 balls or less, meaning that it is now available to be able to be won. As it clicks at 54 or at 53 balls, you'll be able to take home that minor jackpot. Still, at 52 balls or less, you'll be taking home that major prize, and mega jackpot 50 balls or less for 50 grand. As we get after it, I would like to keep you up to date with all of our bingo stuff, and the best way to stay up to date with bingo action is giving our Facebook page a like and follow. By doing so, you'll stay updated with not just weekly bingo schedules, but also event details, reminders, big progressives, player pictures, and more. You can also check out that website link on that Facebook page, as that website link is our link tree that has all the info you need, including a bar locations tab that opens up a map that shows you all the pinned locations where you can play Pilot games. Our other social media links connect you to our Twitter as well as Instagram, and even more there as well. So just the hub of all things Pilot games available on that awesome Facebook page. We'd love for you guys to be checking it out and seeing what you could be taking home. We have just 45 seconds to get enrolled into this game number 2. Should be a lot of fun as we get after it in this game. As we get after it, I'll be just covering our live bingo schedule for you guys, as we play a lot of fun bingo throughout our day. And especially on Tuesdays, they make for even more fun action. As we get every day started off with game day bingo that runs from 12 all the way till 1 p.m. I'll be here for all these 12 games, announcing every single winner, trying to give out that minor, major, and mega prize. At 1 o'clock, we will switch on over to some Lucky 4 bingo. The largest jackpot available today is available in that game, as you could take home $64,487, and it will be even larger by the time you guys get into that game at 1 o'clock. You then play more game day bingo, which I will not be there live for, running from 1 all the way till 4. At 4 o'clock, we'll get a second opportunity at Lucky 4 bingo, another shot at 64 grand if it didn't go out at 1 o'clock. You'll then hop into more game day bingo. That's our happy hour game day bingo that runs from 4 all the way till 6. I'll be back here once again live trying to give out that minor, major, and mega prize. Should be a great time there as we compete for some very fun games. At 6 p.m., we will then play a game of Lucky 4 Bingo. That will be your final opportunity of Lucky 4 Bingo, a final shot at $64,000 if it didn't go out at 1 or at 4 p.m. Then you'll hop into Game Day Bingo that normally runs from 6 all the way till 10 p.m. But because it is a Tuesday night, we'll be shaking it up as we'll be celebrating MegaSota Game Night from about 6:40 all the way till somewhere around 8:30, 8:25. It should be a fantastic matchups as you get started with Blingo Bingo at 6:40 p.m. Blingo Bingo is the high-low game of the evening, as the best player in the state could take home a first-place prize, along with the worst player in the state could take home a first-place prize. Fishing Derby will happen at 6:55 as you will try and reel in a largemouth and smallmouth jackpot. 2 games of Game Day Bingo at 8:15 and at 7:15 and at 7:20. As 7:25 will bring your next PGL matchup of Open Season. At 7:50, Easy Money will be your final PGL matchup, and your final specialty game of Wild Wednesday will be at 8:05, as Jackpot Jungle will be played, as you'll have an opportunity to take home a $26,340 prize in 54 balls or less. It's a great opportunity there. We'd love to see you guys try and take it home. We'll then we'll then get into more game day bingo afterwards. That will run all the way till 10 p.m. We do have another PGL special night actually coming up tomorrow night as well. That tomorrow night special night is Wild Wednesday. That goes from about 7 all the way till 9 p.m. every single Wednesday. I'll be here live giving out some great prizes, playing through some wild-themed specialty games, as we hope to see you guys out there, seeing if you can score yourself some great prizes. It's definitely a great time. MegaSota game night, 6:40 tonight for that specialty night, and Wild Wednesday happening at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Well, we are coming to an end of this game right here, as we got quite a few players one ball away. We'll see if this lucky puck is the one to give it out, as it is, as Skogs over at the Otter Tail Supper Club is taking home the must-go prize of $23.50. Congratulations to you, Skogs, in this awesome game of Game Day Bingo. We will now be getting enrolled into our game number 3. Our game 3 will include a minor jackpot at 56 balls or less. I'll be ecstatic to see which one of our lucky players ends up taking this one home as we continue to get after it. As we get after it, I would like to move on to some great national days. Our first national day we'll be highlighting on today is National Play Monopoly Day. National Play Monopoly Day on November 19th recognizes the iconic board game that lands us on Park Place, Boardwalk, or even in jail. Definitely a great one to be able to highlight, as Monopoly is a great game. I used to love Monopoly as a kid. Me and all my siblings, along with my parents, grandparents, and whoever we could pull into it, we used to play it all the time, and we really enjoyed it. The strategy of it would go crazy, and it was always a super, super fun one. I remember it was so big when we got the Monopoly that had the cards in it. So basically like a debit or credit card kind of action, and you'd swipe it and it'd be able to keep track of all your numbers. I thought that was so cool, and I thought it was so fun. And it was made it a lot easier, if I'm being completely honest, than having all that just fake cash going all about. But it's a great one, as having a big wad of cash is always fun when it comes to Monopoly. Did you know that Lizzie Magie created the prototype? Although Charles Darrow is credited with the invention of Monopoly, the original concept was created by Lizzie Magie, a Maryland actress, as a teaching tool against land ownership. Very interesting. The Parker brothers initially rejected the game. Parker brothers turned down the game, citing 52 design errors. However, after the game was successfully in Philadelphia stores, they changed their minds in 1935. The Monopoly Man was actually inspired by a real tycoon. Some think the Monopoly Man was based on J.P. Morgan. Board pieces were inspired by the creator's niece. The original board pieces had a sentimental source. That's so cool. Monopoly has been licensed in more than 103 countries and printed in more than 37 languages. The longest game in a record lasted about 70 straight days. I remember me and my siblings, because of school and everything like that, we'd sit down for maybe an hour a day, and we'd spend ourselves weeks trying to get through an entire Monopoly game. But it was always so fun, and it honestly was a lot of fun to be able to have that family bonding on a daily basis. Maybe we didn't totally dive into the Monopoly, but it was something that we got to get together and enjoy every day. Monopoly helped POWs escape during World War II. Escape maps, compasses, and files were inserted into Monopoly game boards, smuggled into POW camps inside Germany during World War II. That's insane. The patent number is 202682. 2,026,082. Very interesting. It was patented December 31st, 1935. Very, very cool one today. So play a little Monopoly on today, the classic board game that is enjoyed by so many. My strategy is always get the railroads. I love the railroads. They're my jam, and I always try to get as many of them. I'll trade. I'll make the big trades of my properties to try and get those railroads, as it's a big win once you get them all. But fun stuff there. Enjoy some good play of Monopoly, as there are so many different renditions of it now that I'm sure you're going to find one that you can enjoy. Maybe even the National Lampoon's Monopoly, themed after the classic Christmas Vacation. But enjoy Monopoly on today as we are coming down to the last little bit of this game right here. We only have a few more balls to try and give out this minor prize of $173. We'll see if KTR can get that ball to fall, as it doesn't look like it's happening. We'll be moving on to our must-go prize, as $26.80 should be going out very soon. As at the 28th ball, we see LCat64 get another win over at the Ultimate Sports Bar and Grill, taking home $26.80. Congratulations to you, LCat64, as we now get enrolled into this next game. Now that must-go was won at 58 balls, but if you can do that same performance and win the next game at 58 balls, we'll be actually giving out a minor jackpot, as that prize sits at $173. It is now clicked up to 58 balls or less, and I should change my tone. It's now over $200 in this game. Should be a lot of fun as you guys get after it with just 1 minute and 45 seconds to do so. And as we get after it, I do have another national day to highlight, as it's National Carbonated Beverage with Caffeine Day. Unique food holidays such as National Carbonated Beverage with Caffeine Day give us the opportunity to break out of our everyday norms. On November 19th, explore the variety of carbonated beverages with caffeine. Absolutely great stuff here, as so many sodas are enjoyed with caffeine. It's a great one to be able to highlight. A little Pepsi, maybe the classic Coca-Cola, a Cherry Coke maybe, or so many others. I know my love for a good old Diet Coke runs supreme. I love a good Diet Coke, as it keeps myself from drinking too many. Too many. Well, let's find some great caffeinated soda. As Pepsi Max has probably the most amount of caffeine out of all those soda drinks, out of the popular soda drinks. Dr. Pepper is another great one to be able to highlight. I know I'm a huge fan of that. The Coke is probably also a great one to be able to highlight. Where 7-Up, Fanta, maybe a root beer, a Sprite, or a ginger ale does not contain caffeine. So we're not celebrating those on today. We're celebrating the carbonated beverages with caffeine. Definitely a fun one to be able to highlight. You could also highlight all the great energy drinks that are enjoyed with caffeine. I'm not one to partake too much in the energy drinks, as I did when I was a young college student. I drank my fair share of them, but I try and stick away, as it's just not as healthy for you. But I do have a guilty pleasure with the pops, and so I drink quite a few pops every once in a while. I try and limit myself down, but it's a great one to highlight. And now I have an excuse to go get myself a good old Diet Coke on today, on National Carbonated Beverage with Caffeine Day. I know a lot of you guys are out there at different bars, restaurants, and I know there is the availability to enjoy a carbonated beverage with caffeine. So do so on today. As we do have balls dropping in this game, we got that 58 ball or less minor prize that we are hoping to give out, as we just gave out that minor jackpot, that must-go prize a game ago at 58 balls or less. At the 58th ball. If we can do that once again, this time the minor jackpot's going out. So I'm excited to see who ends up getting those lucky balls to fall. And as we work on it, I do have a little bit of fun Vikings news to talk about, as Sam Darnold lost a fumble on the Minnesota Vikings' third offensive play. He more than made up for that turnover for the rest of the game. Darnold threw for 246 yards and 2 touchdowns and ran for a score, and the Vikings beat the Tennessee Titans 23-13 Sunday. The Vikings quarterback was picked off 5 times over the previous 2 games, matching his total over the first 7 games of the season. When his toss to Aaron Jones on the Vikings' third offensive play was fumbled and recovered by Jeffrey Simmons for the Titans. Darnold answered back to help the Vikings win their 3rd straight and improve to 5-0 against AFC teams this season. He found Jordan Addison for a 47-yard catch-and-run touchdown, as the Vikings didn't trail again as they scored 16 straight for a 16-3 halftime lead. How we played in those moments was a huge indicator of a guy that had put in the work and was confident and just going out there to do his job. And then also overcome some things around him to make some plays, which was crucial for us. Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell said of Darnold, Andrew Van Ginkel had 2 sacks and back-to-back plays as Minnesota finished with 5. Pat Jones also had 2. Harrison Smith clinched the win with an interception with 1 minute and 50 seconds left, giving the Vikings fans giving the Vikings fan that turned this into a near-home game another reason to celebrate, chanting, "Skol." We do have Chad B as well as Chelsea splitting up that must-go prize of $43.30. Congratulations to you, Chelsea, over at Joe and Stan's, and Chad B over at Spinner's Bar. As we now get enrolled into this next game will include a minor jackpot at 60 balls or less. Fingers crossed we can give it out at 60 balls or less, as it's closing in on $300, already at $290. Should be a lot of fun as we get after. I'm going to continue to talk about our Minnesota Vikings, as they are now 8-2 after that fantastic win. And I don't know, I teared up a little bit when I heard the Vikings announcer call Harrison Smith a future Hall of Famer after he clinched that game-winning interception, just realizing how long he's been rocking the purple and gold. And it's going to be weird whenever he does choose to retire, that it's going to be a guy that for a lot of young fans can't even remember a time where the Harrison Smith wasn't in the purple and gold. And for even a lot of people who are now even 30 years old at this point, Harrison Smith started playing for the Vikings back when you were in high school. And so it's a very, very weird thing to hear him be called a future Hall of Famer, just because you realize just how long he's been with the organization, how long he's been making huge impact plays, and he keeps on doing it with a game-clinching interception with just 1 minute and 50 seconds left. A big win for our Vikings, winning 3 in a row, getting us back on the winning track of things after losing back-to-back games. Now 8-2, really have a high likelihood of being able to get our way into these NFL playoffs. And we have one of the better records in the entire NFL. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope we can get another win this upcoming Sunday, as we are going to be having a fun NFC North rivalry matchup. We're going up against the Chicago Bears, as we'll play them at 12 o'clock this Sunday. Should be an interesting matchup, as it seems like the Bears are having all kinds of issues, as they, at one point, I think 3 or 4 games in, started to look like they were getting better with each week. Now the wheels have come off the wagon, and we have no idea what's going on there. But you don't want to underestimate a guy as talented as Caleb Williams. He was the #1 overall draft pick for a reason, and they got guys that can make plays. DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and others that are going to be tough to be able to stop. But we've seen them get stopped in many different ways. Hopefully, we can continue making it look tough for them as we play this matchup, as we are one of the best defenses in the NFL this year, all thanks to the heavy blitz scheme of Brian Flores and the great additions that we made this offseason with Andrew Van Ginkel, Jonathan Greenard, and even Blake Cashman, as well as others just being able to evolve into the full players that they can be. It's been great to watch, and I hope to see this success continue. You guys could send some luck actually to our Minnesota Vikings by playing an ETAB game that we actually teamed up with the Minnesota Vikings for. That ETAB game is called Vikings Victory. You can check out the Skull bonus round, where if you pick out the right lucky batter, you'll be actually taking home a Hail Mary jackpot. It's definitely a fun one there. We hope to see you guys out there enjoying that fantastic ETAB game. But right now, we are enjoying some live bingo action as we are currently competing to try and give out a minor jackpot of $297. But, I mean, we do have the opportunity to give out this major prize as people are still in line. I don't want to move on too quickly from that $4,000 as it doesn't look like it's happening. But close to $300 for that minor jackpot, and we definitely have people in line with Chelsea over at TwinsWinsDay leading the charge. They just won the must-go in that last game. I'm sure they're hoping to be able to take home the minor jackpot in this one. We got just 2 more balls to try and give out this prize, as we'll see if they can get that lucky ball to fall, or should I say lucky puck to come across our screen. As it will not be happening in this game number 5, as the must-go prize of $55.70 is going out to Jer Bear over the B&B Sports Bar and Grill in Staples. Congratulations to you, Jer Bear, in this game number 5. We will now be getting enrolled into our game number 6. This game 6 will now include a minor jackpot at 62 balls or less. I know I'm excited to try and give out a 62 ball or less minor jackpot, so we'll see how big that cash amount gets to as you guys get enrolled over the next 2 minutes. As you are getting enrolled into this game, if you say, I don't really want to play any more game day bingo, I'd say wait one more game because there's such a high likelihood to see that minor jackpot go out. But if you can't wait, you should check out the over 70 different Charitable ETAB games that we can play anytime and win huge prizes up to $1,500. These games feature low bets ranging from 50 cents to $5 with awesome bonus and free play rounds in those games. We'd love for you to check them out. Our ETAB spotlight for this broadcast is Buku Bucks, where you can head to the woods in search of big bucks, play beer pong at deer camp, or test your shooting skills in the Buku Bucks hunting bonus and win trophy prizes. It's definitely a fun one there. Buku Bucks is a perfect one to play as the hunting season has just gotten underway. Hopefully you guys are hitting the woods, enjoying pulling out those big bucks, those 8 points, those 12 points, whatever it may be. Let us know as you can find those big catches of those big cash bucks while playing the awesome hunting themed ETAB game Buku Bucks. Definitely a great one there. There's so many different themes though. You're bound to find one that you enjoy. We got just about 30 seconds to get enrolled into this game, and as you get enrolled, I do have a few fun movies that were released on today that I would like to highlight. Starting off, released on today in 1993, we got Addams Family Values. I think this is the second in the Addams Family, starring Angelica Hudson, Raul Julia, and Christina Ricci, as well as John Cusack and others. As maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. As maybe this is the first one. It's 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. The members of the Odd Addams Family are up to more macabre antics in this sequel. It is a sequel, okay. This time around, Gomez Addams and his wife Morticia are celebrating the arrival of a baby boy. But siblings Wednesday and Pugsley are not too happy about the new addition and try their best to eliminate the infant. When nanny Debbie Jelinski, played by John Cusack, appear to keep the kids in line, her presence leads to an unexpected, treacherous twist. Very interesting stuff. Love a good little Adams Family shout out on today. A very very big classic there. Well, cool stuff. Adams Family Values released on today in 1993. Now, this one is an absolute classic for me as a kid. Actually, we got two that were released in 2004 that were classics for me as a child. And that is the first one we'll be highlighting, National Treasure, one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies, as it also stars Justin Bartha, Sean Bean, John Voight, and other great actors and actresses. This is about a historian and code breaker, Ben Gates, as he searches his whole life for a rumored treasure dating back to the creation of the United States. Joining an expedition led by fellow treasure hunters, Gates finds the ice-locked colonial ship in the Arctic Circle that contains clues linking the treasure to the Declaration of Independence. But when Howie betrays him, Gates has to race to get the document ahead of his so-called colleague. It's a fun one. I really enjoyed it as a child, so maybe give a watch to a little National Treasure on today. The other classic from my childhood in 2004 released on today, it is the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. This one is great as you have, I think this one has David Hasselhoff playing in it as he swings them to safety. I thought it was so fun as a kid, and it's a great one to be able to highlight as you got so many iconic scenes from the SpongeBob franchise being played out. But we do have some players here as we try and give out this minor jackpot, and it goes out. It's a split win between Tina over at the Wild Boar Bar and Grill and Mike W. over at Briel's Den. Both taking home $391.94 on our minor jackpot win. Congratulations to both Tina and Mike W. in this great game of Game Day Bingo. As we now get enrolled into this next matchup. This next matchup will have a double Musco prize available. So I'll be sticking around to try and give out this double Musco as it was already at over $70. And you guys will just be adding to that prize as you get enrolled over the next minute and 30 seconds. But the SpongeBob SquarePants movie released on today, a great classic that was released on, that was a spin-off of the TV show that was also iconic for me, SpongeBob SquarePants. So maybe give that a watch on today. Now moving on to 2010. It's crazy that it's been 14 years since this came out. As 2010, we got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. This stars Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint as the main three: Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley. You also got Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy, and other great actors and actresses. I have never seen this movie, even though I've watched I've watched a lot of the Harry Potter movies, because every time I've always said I've never watched the entire movie series of the Harry Potter franchise. Everybody always wants to start from the first one. And so I've watched the first three probably like 17, 18 different times. I have never I've watched probably the fourth one maybe 5 times. The sixth one, I'm losing. Sixth one I've watched probably a few times, but you're starting to get less and less once you get into the sixth one. And then you get into, I think, the final two, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, which I have never seen. And so I need to watch it at some point. This may be my little bit of motivation to go and watch it, as it's absolute classics. And some of people's favorite fantasy series of all time. Maybe your favorite fantasy series of all time, as Harry Potter, The Deathly Hallows Part 1 is released on today. We got one more movie I'm going to highlight being released on today, as that's a 2021 work, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I haven't watched this one either, even though I love the Ghostbuster franchise. It stars Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, McKenna Grace, Paul Rudd, and other fun actors and actresses. Finn Wolfhard, Ernie Hudson. Very, very cool cast there. This is when a single mother and her two children move to a new town. They soon discover that they have a connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. It's a fun one, and then we even got, I think, a sequel to that work with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which was another fun watch. I haven't seen either of these, but I do want to watch it at some point. So, Ghostbusters Afterlife, released on today in 2021. We are still playing some of this game day bingo action as we're working after. I do have a little bit of Wild news to go after. As the Dallas Stars won against the Minnesota Wild with a 2-1 matchup Saturday night. Playing without forwards Matt Zuccarello and Joel Eriksson-Ek, Minnesota rolled out 4 new line combinations. Forward Michael Milene made his NHL debut on the Wild's 4th line. Forward Liam Ogren and Milene were recalled from the AHL Iowa in recent days. In that game, Kirill Kaprizov scored and Philip Gustafsson stopped a season-high 38 shots for Minnesota. Gustafsson had also 2 or fewer goals in a league best 10 starts. He's been a great goalie. It was just we let up too many shots on goal. The new lineups definitely affected that as we sit now at 11-3-3 on the season. But we get we get another game happening tonight, so we don't gotta revel in that loss for too long. As today at 7 p.m., the Wild will be taking on the Blues. If you want some more Wild action, play the great ETAB game, Let's Go Wild. It's a great one that we teamed up with the Minnesota Wild for. There's even a slapshot bonus round to see if you can score yourself some of those jackpot prizes. But in this game of Wild-themed game day bingo, we got Call Me Yags over the Riverboat Depot. Shout out to you, Yag crew, longtime Pilot Games players, as they take home $114.20. Congratulations to you, Call Me Yags, as you guys now get enrolled into this next game. I'll be taking a break as you guys play through the next 2 games of Game Day Bingo, but I'll be back in just a little bit to give out some more of these amazing jackpot prizes. Hello guys, and I am back for more of this awesome game day bingo action. We should continue to have a lot of fun here as we get after it. Just a few seconds before we are in this game of game day bingo. This is a game number 10. As we get after it in this game, I would like to highlight the winners from the games I missed. As we played two games that I missed out on, the first one we saw a $31.70 Musco prize go out. Our winner was Nan over at Corky's Bar South Haven, one of our longtime players. Congratulations to you, Nan. We then saw another great prize go out in that following game. This time a little bit smaller. $29.70. That went out to Ryan over at CC's Bar. Congratulations to you, Ryan, as we now have a 58 ball or less minor prize at $165. Should be a lot of fun as we get working through this game. As we work through this game, trying to give out some of these amazing prizes, I would like to remind you that when you're playing Pilot games, don't forget to share those awesome player pictures with us. We absolutely love seeing your smiling faces, and if you happen to hit a jackpot, hold up your iPad and show off that happy face with the jackpot message. We'd love to celebrate with you. You could also send us pictures of you playing with your friends or your favorite bartender. To share your pics, you could either direct message them to us on Facebook, post them with the hashtag PilotGames, or email them to jackpots@pilotgames.com. I cannot wait to see all the fun moments that you guys capture while playing our fun games of Game Day Bingo. Definitely send them in. We love to see them. You can find a bunch of those player pictures on our Facebook page, as we're always posting them all over the place, as well as you can find them on just the enrollment screen as we get enrolled into every single one of these Game Day Bingo games. It's always a blast. We are at about 40 balls dropped here, as we got Player over at the Chart House 6 balls away. We'll see if Player could end up taking home our win in this amazing game. As we work on it, I do have a little bit of Timberwolves news to talk about, as we had a fun matchup against the Phoenix Suns, where Julius Randle hit a buzzer-beating three-pointer to cap off his 35-point night and lift the Minnesota Timberwolves to a 120-117 win over the Phoenix Suns on Sunday afternoon. Randall and the Wolves got the ball back with just 2 seconds, 2.1 seconds, I should say, remaining, and called a timeout to advance the ball. The ball found Randall, who hit a 24-footer as time expired on a crazy step back that dropped the defender. It was a fun one to be able to watch. It was exciting, and it got me on my feet, as that was a very exciting win for our Timberwolves against a very talented Phoenix Suns team, and was even able to hold off the 44-point outing by Devin Booker. We do have $32.50 getting split up in this game. Player over at the Chart House and El Jefe over at JD's Outpost are splitting up $32.50. Congratulations to both of our winners, as we will now be getting enrolled into this next game. This next game will include a minor jackpot at 60 balls or less. Should be a fun game number 11, as you guys just have about 2 minutes to get enrolled into this upcoming action. Well, as we get into this game, I would like to highlight that Thursday is our next Timberwolves matchup. They'll be in Toronto taking on the Raptors at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday. Should be a fun matchup, and we hope to see them be able to get the win, as we've been able to have quite a big break since our last game. As I think our last game was on the 17th, so that would be on Sunday. And so Sunday to Thursday break definitely lets us get everything healthy, make sure nobody's too banged up. Great stuff there nonetheless. But as we get after it, I would like to give a quick shout out to anybody who's celebrating their birthday on this November 19th. Shout out to all you guys, and I shoot some luck out to any of our birthday celebrators, and hope to see you guys take home some great jackpot prizes. As you do get after it in this game, I would like to highlight some celebrities that were born on today as well. Starting off with our first celebrity born on today in 1920, we got Jean Tierney, a American actress who was in Laura, Leave Her to Heaven, as well as The Razor's Edge. Acclaimed for her great beauty, she became established as a leading lady in many different films. Very, very cool one we get to highlight here on today. As even her one of her daughters ended up being a actress as well, which is very, very cool to be able to talk about. Definitely a cool celebrity that we get to highlight on today. Jean Tierney being born on today, a iconic actress. Next up, born on today in 1921, we got Roy Campanella, an American Baseball Hall of Fame catcher. Won the National League MVP in 1951, 53, and again in 55. Was the World Series champ in 1955 as well. Was an 8-time MLB All-Star and played for the majority of his career with the Brooklyn Dodgers. A very iconic baseball player we get to highlight here on today. He was nicknamed Campy and played for many seasons. Happy birthday to Roy Campanella. As we keep on working through it, this game, I do have our next one, born on today in 1942. We got Calvin Klein, the American fashion designer, part of Calvin Klein Jeans as well as CK. Very, very big brands there that are still remain very, very popular that we get to highlight here on today. Started in 1968 was when he founded Calvin Klein Incorporated. Addition